Today is the day. Today is the day that we start drafting my project. Welcome back to my channel. I am Autumn Ashley, and today in this vlog, we're starting the first draft of my third fantasy project, and I am super stoked for it. So I wanted to do like a fun little thing for starting this first draft. And when I say fun little thing, I was watching a YouTube video. It's another author tuber. I believe her name is Taylor Ann Wrights. I'll leave her channel link down below. But it was super funny because she was talking about like grab your favorite beverage when you're writing and all this fun stuff. And she mentioned something about orange juice, and I low-key felt called out because I was literally going to make a mimosa for starting my first draft, and now I feel attacked, but it was all in good fun. I'm still gonna make my mimosa for starting this first draft. I have a couple of hours to sit down and to write and to work on the story. I think I want to do all the things that I have to do today in about 2-hour-ish blocks. So it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning now, and what I want to do is at 8 start drafting and then draft for as long as I can. Hopefully I can aim for around 2 hours. I think that'll be a good solid chunk of time since I'm starting the first draft, and I want to make a good bit of progress in the first draft and in the first chapter. I've been thinking about this first chapter for a couple of weeks, so I'm super excited to actually sit down to write the first chapter. And then I have just like household things to do. You know, when everybody works, things pile up. I would like to spend a little bit of time during the breaks cleaning. I need to make some good progress in reading The Fellowship of the Ring because we have a book club meeting for that next Thursday, and I'm about 100 pages in, so we need to kind of get on that one. That's what I have going on. I'm gonna make my little mimosa, and I have a bagel, so we're gonna have a bagel for breakfast, and we're gonna start writing. So I've got about 5 minutes to do all of that and make my coffee. So I'll see you guys later, I guess, but enjoy the vlog and have fun with me on this journey. It is so dark in here. It's because it's raining outside. Oh my gosh, okay, total squirrel moment. I just realized that the pool outside is green. So I just got everything set up. I made my new document for Project Ice. I've got my Pinterest board all up and ready to go. I'm about to hit play on my playlist, and I have all of my documents that are up and, you know, ready to be of assistance if I need it to be. And I have my plot grid. I'm ready. Like we're just ready to start. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm very excited to get going on this. So I just finished the first chapter. Epic. I absolutely love this story. I feel like I always say that every time I'm drafting with every story I've ever written, and I know everybody always feels so passionate about their stories, but truly, I'm obsessed. I'm really excited. I really like this, and I'm really vibing with it. But it's been exactly 2 hours. While I know I'm super excited and I'm ready to work on the second chapter, I would like to get up, move around, get some more water. I know I had said that I want to do some of the other little household things. I need to do some of that now, but I'm feeling it. You know that feeling after you write a solid chapter or you feel really proud of what you've written? There's just like that feeling like that's deep in your chest. That's how I feel right now. I love it. I'm vibing. I'm feeling happy, feeling good about the story. Now I'm gonna take a break, and I'll see you guys in a bit. I am slowly but surely cleaning the kitchen. This is not writing related at all, but who feels like in their adult life, the two things that they feel like they do the most is clean their kitchen and the amount of junk mail that they get. I am currently sorting through all of the junk mail. Didn't I do this 2 days ago? Like go through all of this junk mail? It's like a constant thing. I don't understand it. So weird, right? few hours later, I ate lunch. Didn't update, didn't show you guys any of this stuff. I am currently reading Fellowship, which is the first book in the Lord of the Rings. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm doing a reading vlog for this as well. I want to read for another hour or two. I'm really vibing with the first draft of my writing of the story of Project Ice, and I do want to write a little bit more tonight. I know that my buddy Sarah is doing a live stream at 7, so maybe I can pop into that later tonight and do some writing during her sprints, because I do have a few other things that I need to finish today. I would like to edit a video so I can get you guys a video up within the next couple of days, because I hate missing an upload. Sorry, I'm fidgeting with my puzzle. Interestingly enough is a Lord of the Rings puzzle, but I was just like messing with it because I accidentally bumped it with my foot. I'm gonna keep reading and hopefully I can get some more writing done today. That first chapter, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Oh man, I am sure I do not look as lovely and bubbly as I did, I'm sure, in my last clip. I wanted to give an update on a day where I've been working for several days in a row, several long hours in a row. And I wanted to come on here so you could see it. See that, you know, I work very long hours for multiple days in a row. But I also wanted to share this part of me because I feel like I only ever share mostly when I have time, but I feel like I only ever share on the days that I have off. So I wanted to do this. Well, I convinced myself that I wanted to do this. I want to talk about my writing, but I also want to talk about my work schedule with my writing. I did mention this in one of my videos before. I think it was my writing routine video. I do talk more in depth what my work schedule is and kind of how I write around my work schedule. Since I'm beginning a new draft and I'm trying to write this story at a somewhat quicker pace, I wanted to share an update with how I feel like that's going, even though it's only been a week, I think 6 days since I've started this first draft. And I've only written that first chapter in that one little writing session because then I went to work. I work night shift in a hospital. My shifts are usually 12 to 14 hours and I just did 3 and I have one more, except this shift I was able to snag the 10-hour shift. So that's what I'm going back tonight to do, a 10-hour shift. No writing has been done for the last 3 days, and then tonight it'll be 4 days. It is what it is. So I have not done any writing since I finished the first chapter. I do want to say that while I don't do the writing at work, I do, however, think about my story, and I do bring my plot grid to work and my story journal and just kind of flip through them just to remember who the characters are, remember what the plot is. And since the next writing session that I'm going to be starting on chapter 2. Since it's a new chapter, I have been thinking about how I want to start this chapter. Do I need to give maybe a little bit of backstory, because how I ended the first chapter, it was a little bit on it was a definite cliffhanger, but do I let that cliffhanger sit for a little bit longer and give a little bit of backstory and then jump back to the story at hand? That is what I've been doing. And I've been listening to my playlist. I'll scroll through my Pinterest board just to keep in the headspace of the story and to keep it fresh. So if I'm only able to write for 2 or 3 hours a week, at least I'm utilizing that time and it is just writing. And I don't think I talked about this in the previous clip with how I wanted to start the story, but I had been thinking about it, where exactly I wanted to start the story. And of course, with it being draft 1, it can always change. I'm okay with it. I know at least for this first draft and for this story, I had been thinking about the right place to start this story. And I know that thinking about it for a little while and throwing some other ideas at myself too, like where I could have started the story, I'm glad I allowed myself to brainstorm that a little bit. And I did use my free time at work to do that for the first chapter, and I really loved that. So I've been doing that for these last 3 days, and hopefully I'll do that again tonight, where I can just maybe have 20 minutes where I can just kind of think about where I want the second chapter to start. So with my plot grid, I have 1 or 2 sentences or bullet points that I want for each of the chapters in the story, and then pretty much after that I am discovering the rest of the story, playing around with the characters, introducing them, figuring out when I want them to appear on the page, conversations they're going to have, and I love doing that. Oh, my camera battery's about to die. That's what I've been doing at work, but my partner is going to be home soon, and I would like to spend a little bit of time with them before I have to go back to work for a 10-hour shift. I will see you guys in the next clip, and I will probably be a lot more alive. Can anybody relate to that? So, writing update. I am very excited to say that I have finished chapter 1, and I am about 1,500 words into chapter 2, and we're loving it. I'm definitely having those vibes of starting a new story and being super excited and just happy and wanting to write. I'm definitely feeling that way. I mean, hopefully I would still feel that way because I'm only a chapter and a half into this story. I want to continue to ride that wave of absolutely loving the story, being in love with writing. And that's not to say that I'm not in love with writing. That definitely came out wrong. But I have been having a lot of fun writing this story. So I know when I initially pitched this story, I pitched it as kind of like a sacrifice type thing. And it has definitely shifted since I started outlining and started plotting and figuring out characters and figuring out what would work and what would not work with the plot. That is definitely not a thing anymore. And I could not be happier about the decisions that I've made with this story, only because I have just been really vibing with the story, and I'm really proud of it. So far, I'm still only a chapter and a half in. I also don't think I even mentioned to you guys, but I'm gonna mention it here now. The point of view of this story is in third person. This is only the second story I've ever written in third person, but it didn't feel like it should have been written in first person. For everything that my character goes through, I feel like if she was the one that was telling the story, it may have even have come across as juvenile, and I don't know if I would have been able to get all of the other characters' thoughts and opinions on what is happening, and I didn't want it to come across as like the character being whiny. The things that happen to her suck, but I don't know. This story felt like it should have been third person. So then that way I could give everybody else a little bit of stage time or page time too. I know I could have done multiple POVs, which I do not feel comfortable doing because I've never written multiple point of views, and that just didn't seem like it fit this story. I know I could have done interludes, but interludes to me are touch and go. It really just depends on how well you can do an interlude. All of that rambling to say, we're still vibing with the story, and I'm having a great time with it. That's all this update really is, and to tell you guys how far into the story I am. So I haven't finished chapter 2 yet, but hopefully I can do that soon. I think the story is sitting at a little less than 5,000 words. I feel like it's about 4,300 words-ish, and so far, I have spent about 4 or 5 hours working on the story over the last couple of weeks. I'm feeling good about it. I'm staying on track. I'm hitting my goals. I'm trying to be productive in my writing sessions. That's all I have for now. I'm gonna make my breakfast, and I'll see you guys in a bit.